Once upon a time, on the shore of the deep blue sea, there lived a humble fisherman and his wife in a tiny, weathered cottage. The fisherman was content with his simple life, spending his days by the seaside, casting his rod and watching the waves. But his wife, well, she saw things differently. The damp, moldy cottage was a source of constant frustration, and no matter what the fisherman brought home, it was never enough. Fish, she wanted crab. Apples, she wanted pears. One ordinary day, the fisherman felt a powerful tug on his line. Straining and pulling, he reeled in an extraordinary catch, a golden fish, shimmering like the sun itself. But before he could marvel too long, the fish spoke. "Fisherman, spare me. I am no ordinary fish. I am a prince cursed to this form. If you let me go, I'll grant you any wish you desire." The fisherman, startled but kind-hearted, simply replied, "I have no need for wishes. Go on, swim free." And so the fisherman disappeared into the waves, leaving the fisherman to return home empty-handed but full of wonder. When he told his wife about the talking fish, her eyes sparkled with ambition. "A wish?" she exclaimed. "How could you not ask for anything? Go back and tell that fish we need a new house, something grander than this leaky old shack." Unable to refuse her request, the fisherman returned to the shore and called out to the golden fish, "Fish, fish, fish, give me a wish." The sea turned calm and the fish appeared, granting the wife's wish. When the fisherman returned home, the shabby cottage had transformed into a beautiful house with polished furniture and a garden in bloom. His wife was overjoyed, but deep down her joy was fleeting. Days passed, and soon the wife began to find flaws in their new home. "It's still too small," she declared. "If the fish can grant wishes, why not ask for a palace fit for a queen?" The fisherman hesitated, but returned to the sea, his heart heavy with each request. "Fish, fish, fish, give me a wish." The golden fish granted this wish too, and the couples now lived in a grand palace. Servants attended to their every need, and the wife sat on a golden throne. But as time went on, her ambition grew even larger. One night, unable to sleep, the wife hatched for her most audacious idea yet. "Husband," she said the next morning, "I want power over time itself. I want to rule the sun and the moon, to live above the clouds and command the heavens." The fisherman begged her to reconsider. "What more could we possibly need?" he asked. But her ambition was unrelenting. So once again he called out to the golden fish, his voice filled with sorrow, "Fish, fish, fish, give me a wish." Now the fish granted this wish too, and the wife was whisked away to a palace high above the clouds. There she controlled the sun and the moon, bringing day and night with a wave of her hand. At first she revelled in her power, her throne glowing with celestial light. But soon she began to feel the cursing weight of solitude. The sky was endless, the silence deafening. She missed the sound of the waves, the warmth of her husband's presence. Despite her power, she was utterly alone. The fisherman, seeing his wife's sufferings far above, felt his heart break. He called out to the fish one last time, "Fish prince, I have never asked for anything for myself, but this is my request. Please bring my wife back to me. Let her be happy with me always. The golden fish listened, and with a flash of a light, the wife was returned to the shore. She stood before the fisherman, tears streaming down her face. I was blind to what we already had, she said. Our small cottage, our simple life, it was all I ever needed. The fisherman smiled, his love for her undiminished. From that day, they lived in peace, appreciating the small joys that made life truly rich. And so the fisherman and his wife discovered that happiness cannot be found in wealth or power, but in love and gratitude for life's simple blessings. They lived happily ever after by the shore of the deep blue sea.